It starts with a name, Carroll Edward Cole, a man shaped by cruelty, driven by rage, a boy betrayed by the one person meant to protect him, a child whose pain twisted into something dark, something deadly. He moved from town to town, a drifter, a charmer, a killer hiding in plain sight. 16 lives lost, maybe more. Women who trusted him, who never saw the monster behind the smile. What turns a man into a predator? What evil brews in the mind of a killer? Tonight, we delve into the twisted psyche of Carroll Cole and uncover how a lifetime of pain gave birth to a nightmare. Welcome to the Death of Innocence. Today, we will be speaking on instances of sexual assault, homicide, violence, and murder. So, listener, be warned. And let's grab our coffee, let's grab our beer, let's grab our tea, and let's get into it, you guys.
This is a message from the Kenshin Department for Disease Containment. We advise you to pay close attention to the following information, as you may need to depend on it later. Thank you.
Welcome to The Death of Innocence, where we delve into the minds of the most twisted and disturbed killers in history. I am your host, Kimber.
I be Bud.
And today we're unraveling the story of Carroll Edward Cole, a man driven by rage, betrayal, and a need to punish. His violent spree left at least 16 people dead between 1948 and 1980.
God dang.
Yeah, it was a long ass fucking time. Carroll Cole's life was a brutal cycle of trauma, violence, and murder. And what drove him to kill? How did his past shape his dark future? And why did the system fail to stop him despite so many red flags?
I already know what drove him to kill.
Coochie.
No.
What?
Bro name is Carroll.
That kind of has part to do with it. Because I think if I was a boy named Carroll, I'd be pretty pissed off too.
Yeah, man, it's over with, bro. How you gonna date Carroll and your name Carroll?
Right, two Carrolls.
It's not gonna work, my guy.
CC. Oh, that just, okay. Nope, my brain just glitched.
It's like two Leslies. Hi, Leslie.
Hey, my grandpa's name was Leslie.
And so was who else?
Don't judge. They weren't serial killers.
I'm just saying, it's just weird.
Well, honestly, I don't know what my grandpa was doing. He was running around being a Rolling Stone.
What's another name like that? What, Stacy? Tracy?
Well, now there's girls out here
Terry.
named Johnny.
Terry? Johnny. Yeah.
There's girls out here named Johnny.
Well, they've been trying to throw the I on it for a long time.
Yeah, it's JOHNNIE. Johnny.
Well, that's the Johnny that bled on Drake, but that's another story. Anyway, let's go.
Okay. So, Carroll Edward Cole, gotta put that masculinity in it, was born on...
It's Carl with a curry.
Carl.
It's Carl with a curry. Like, I would do anything in my power to make it Carl.
It's not Carol, it's Carl. It's Carl.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it sound like Carl as much as I can.
Yeah, it's Carl. Okay, so Carroll Edward Cole was born on May 9th, 1938 in Sioux City, Iowa. The youngest of three children, he was raised in a home filled with dysfunction and pain. His father was an alcoholic and largely absent, leaving Carroll at the mercy of his mother, Vesta Cole. She sound mean, don't she?
She sound old and mean.
Bruh, if I had a mama named Vesta, I knew I would get beat every day.
That's like one of them. You know they mean. Like, that's like Bernice.
Right.
I ain't Bernice. Well,
No.
She wasn't mean to me, though.
Bernies are... well, you know, they friends be calling him Bernie.
But I'm just saying, like, that's one of them old-ass names, like Beulah. Ain't nobody named Beulah.
Bertha.
Nice to nobody.
Everybody with somebody named Bertha got beat.
Yeah.
So Vesta was a cruel and domineering woman who found twisted pleasure in humiliating her son. When Carroll was just a boy, his father left to serve in World War II.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, not the 2, but the 3. No, that's when Vesta. Today is not the day. That's when Vesta's promiscuity became blatantly apparent. She She would bring men home, forcing Carol to witness her infidelity. She even dressed him in girls' clothes and paraded him in front of her friends, mocking him and calling him names like Mama's little girl.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
What?
Yeah. She was fucking cruel as shit to him.
Wait a minute. So bro already named Carol. Now you gonna dress him like a girl?
Right. You named him Carol. It's not like he came out the cooch and the doctor was like, this one's name is Carol. You got to deal with it. You named him Carol and then fucking treated him like a girl.
And what year was this?
1938.
Okay, because I've heard back in like the 1800s and shit, when they first started taking pictures a lot.
They had the little boys dressed in like little dresses.
Yeah. Like girls, because it didn't matter because they might die before they even turn 1. So
I think you should still put them in their proper genitalia clothing.
it was just easier just to have whatever they had around, you know what I'm saying? But this not that.
Yeah.
This is just sick.
Like it says, the psychological torment cut deep, and Carol's resentment towards women took root. He started hating women he was a he-man woman hater.
Damn, bro was over there with alfalfa and Spanky.
He was the founding members of the he-man woman haters.
The first little rascal out this bitch.
Do you remember the chant?
I don't even remember.
I just remember the letter.
Go.
Dear Darla.
Oh
I
shit.
hate your stinking guts.
Bitch.
You make me vomit. You're like the scum between my toes.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Love alfalfa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so psychologists often link early abuse to violent behavior later in life. In Carol's case, the degradation and betrayal by his mother planted seeds of rage that would fester for decades. The humiliation he endured morphed into a twisted sense of justice, a belief that women like his mother deserved to be punished.
Wait, so he just basically hated women after that?
Well,
I mean, yeah. If the lady making you wear weird stuff,
hey, your daddy ain't here to protect you.
yeah, it's kind of nah.
All right, so let's get into it. The first kill. So in 1947, at just 9 years old, Carroll Cole committed his first murder. One of his classmates, Dwayne, had been teasing him, calling him a sissy and mocking his name. Like I said, being named Carol.
Carol, you old sissy ass boy.
Sissy. That's not like...
I'm gonna slap you.
Do people actually say that anymore? Like, do people call people sissies?
No, you supposed to get beat up when you say that. Niggas that I know don't like when you say that at all.
Yeah, no, right? So one afternoon, while swimming at a local lake in Richmond, California, Carroll saw his chance.
So he was swimming and he saw his chance for what? Catch a body?
Like,
I like it.
yeah. He was like, this is it. This is it.
This motherfucker like Jaws. He over there just seeing the motherfucker. You just hear the music.
So he watched Dwayne dive underwater, tracking his movements through the bubbles. When Dwayne surfaced, Cole grabbed him and forced him under, holding him there until the bubbles stopped.
Bro is sick. He's a sick motherfucker, bro.
The drowning was ruled an accident, but years later, Cole confessed to intentionally killing his classmate.
Wow, and how old was this dude?
If he was like less than 10, because it said it happened in 1947.
So he's like 9 years old.
Yeah.
God dang.
Yeah. So this wasn't just a child lashing out. It was a calculated act of revenge. Carroll would later admit that Dwayne's death marked the first time he felt powerful, like he could finally take control of his own pain.
Yeah, he was like, revenge is mine.
Yes. Revenge is a dish best cold, served cold.
Yeah, you fucked that up.
I got it. I got through it. Don't judge me.
Yeah, fuck that up.
Look. My retainer has been out, and I don't know how to talk.
It's okay. You'll figure it out.
Okay, so now let's get into a life of violence. So Carroll Cole's first life spiraled after high school. He joined the U.S. Army, but was dishonorably discharged for theft and shooting at passing cars on the San Diego highway.
What the fuck?
Who finds that fun? Like, let's just shoot at cars. Yeah.
bro just outside shooting at random cars.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, not BB gun guns.
And they didn't lock him up then?
Nope.
God dang.
Nope.
Nah, bro, you gotta go.
He became a drifter, bouncing between odd jobs, mental institutions, and prison cells. Despite multiple arrests and even self-admission to mental hospitals, Cole kept slipping through the
You
cracks.
just gonna try to act like we didn't have an animal attack right now. Dog is in here going crazy.
She doesn't like it when you sniff her butt, okay? Yeah. She's very territorial about her butt.
She don't want nobody smelling the goods.
No, she only has one dog that she will let smell it, and that's it. Okay, so anyway, Cole kept slipping through the cracks. Diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, he was labeled untreatable and was often discharged without further intervention.
See, they suck, bro.
They had a chance. They had a chance before he even started.
But they always do that. Like, they take him in. Oh, yeah, I send him back outside.
Yeah, we can't do anything with him. Let him go.
He's straight.
So during his stays in mental institutions, Cole confessed his fantasies of strangling women, but doctors dismissed him as a malingerer.
I want to murder everybody. Send him outside.
Someone
He all right.
faking symptoms for attention. One psychiatrist noted, he seemed afraid of the female figure and could not have intercourse with her first. He must kill her before he could do it. But no action was taken, and the killings continued.
Well, wait a minute. How many killings?
We're just getting into it.
But he like his fish dead. He not like Damon, where he like his fish wet and squirming.
No, he like them dead.
Nigga nasty.
Dead. Okay, so between 1971 and 1980, Cole left a bloody trail across several states: California, Nevada, Texas, Wyoming, and Oklahoma. He frequented bars, targeting women he considered promiscuous and morally corrupt. His victims reminded him of his mother, women who, in his mind, needed to be punished. So pretty much what would happen, he would go to the bar, be sitting there, meet a girl, they start talking, and then she'd be like, yeah, fuck my boyfriend, like, screw him, let's hook up. And he's like, oh, you're immoral.
See,
I gotta kill you.
That's that he-man woman hater shit. It's like, I gotta kill me a prostitute.
But I'm just,
Anybody who will fuck me gotta die.
I'm trying to think of all
Like, it's
the
the stupidest shit ever when you think about it. Like, bro, you killing the motherfucking females that keep the world turning.
No, but he's only going after okay, hold on. I'm not justifying what he's doing. I'm just clarifying. He only killed the ones who were like, yeah, fuck my boyfriend. He was like, oh, bitch, you gotta die. You're a cheater. If you were just single, ready to mingle, he screwed you.
I didn't catch that part. It seemed to me like he was just catching anybody who he thought was like a drunk bitch that smoked cigarettes and be at a bar.
No, you had to be a loose woman. You had to be loose and cheating. And if you was a loose cheating heifer, he was getting you.
So not just prostitutes with their titties out?
No. No, it was barely ever prostitutes. It was all women, like regular women. Well, there were some prostitutes. There was a lot of prostitutes, actually. So some of the notable victims were Essie Buck. That was in 1971. He met her at a tavern, strangled her in a car, and drove around with her body in the trunk before dumping it.
God dang, bro. See, it's the bar, man.
Yes, there was.
They just leave with dudes at the bar.
Yeah. Well, that's how. That's kind of how babies in Vegas happen.
Well, I'm just saying, you leave with somebody at the bar, you might not make it home because this motherfucker ain't gonna let you make it.
Well, at the time that you decide to go home with somebody at the bar, your inhibitions have lowered. They probably look a lot better than they did when you walked in, and you're about to take a romp in the sheets. That's all you're worried about.
Yeah, looking at CAROLL, he was an all right looking guy.
He wasn't bad looking.
Nerdy as hell.
When he got older, he wasn't a looker. But okay, so there was an unnamed woman in 1971. He allegedly killed her after confessing infidelity to Cole. Her body was never recovered. So yet again, another woman at the bar was like, fuck my boyfriend, fuck my husband. And you gotta go.
We all the way in the 70s. He in the bar getting drunk. We only had the one body as a kid?
Yeah, he only killed the one person when he was a kid. And then life after that was just crappy.
God dang.
So, let's see. Let's go back a little bit. So, it says that during his teen life, he committed several petty crimes. He was frequently arrested for drunkenness and minor thefts. He joined the military, like we said. He was discharged for bad conduct for stealing in 1985. In 1960, Cole attacked 2 people on Lover's Lane. After they called the police, he called the police on himself to where he was living and told them that he was plagued by violent fantasies involving strangling women. So that was...
Damn, if he was born today, he would have just put that on a little fucking song and put it on YouTube.
Probably been like...
Nah, bro would have been a superstar. He would have had a hit, and then he would have took his dumb ass right to jail, because that's all they do today is snitch on themselves.
That is true. Like them PPP loan.
The PPP loan, the guys, the guys that don't like that word we said earlier, the issies. Yeah, them guys out in Cali. Yeah.
What? Huh?
What you mean, huh?
Out in Cali.
In LA.
They be saying it on songs? Like what they be doing?
No, these niggas go on, they do worse. They go on podcast.
And say what they be doing.
And no jumper and say what they be doing.
Oh my Lord.
I robbed dude 19 times, and then I saw dude, and then the dude that told me to rob the dude told me to get the dude some money back, and I was like, damn, dude.
That's what you gain from those videos? The dude with the dude and the dude.
I'm just summarizing the stupidity.
So, after 1960, Cole spent the next 3 years in mental facilities. At the last one in Stockton, that's where we have the actual doctor's name. The doctor's name was Dr. Weiss. That's where he said that little statement about he seems afraid of the female figure and cannot have intercourse with her first, but must kill her before he can do it. Dr. Weiss approved his release in April of 1963, despite hospital staff diagnosing Cole with antisocial personality disorder. So from Stockton State Hospital in 1963, we are off to Dallas, Texas. His older brother, Richard, lived there. While in Texas, Cole married an alcoholic stripper named Billy Whitworth.
Oh, so he had a bitch. What's going on?
He was married. So 2 years later, the marriage ended because Cole burned down a motel because he mind fucked himself into thinking Whitworth was fucking some man there.
Wait, what? So he thought his wife was cheating on him?
Yeah. And they were living in a motel and he burned it down.
Wow.
Yeah. So she was like, fuck you. You're crazy. I'm out.
I mean, that'll do it. If you burn down the whole motel.
Yeah. I'd probably still stay with you. I would. I'd be like, look, he's got some demons. We got to work through them. I'm staying.
I like it.
Yeah. I like that toxic level.
Yeah, that's you for real. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I love you. We said for better or for worse, bro.
No, that's nasty.
That's what I like.
It's doo-doo.
Sorry. So, as a result, he was sent back to prison. So mind you, he's been in prison. He's been in prison, been out of prison, been to a mental facility, been out. He just bounces around. So, as a result of the burning down of the motel, he was sent back to prison for 5 years. Once released, he tried to strangle an 11-year-old.
All right, bro just tried to murder everybody in the fucking motel. Now, he shouldn't have got out in 5 years. That's like...
This was back in 1963.
But you gotta take every person that was in that motel and apply a attempted murder charge. How the fuck you get out in 5 years from that?
I don't know.
Bro, maybe
they didn't think that far ahead. I don't know what they thought in 1963. It was a simpler time. We're in flower power time, hippies.
Bro, if I had a fucking time machine, bro, I'm about to go. Oh my god.
Fuck some shit up. No, I'm sorry. So he tried to strangle an 11-year-old girl in Missouri, and he was sentenced to 5 years for that. After the back-to-back stints, Cole ended up in Nevada. While here, he attempted to strangle 2 more women. He checked himself into the mental facilities. His murderous fantasies were noted by doctors but didn't detain him and instead handed him a ticket to San Diego.
Wait a minute. So he tries to strangle two chicks.
Mm-hmm.
He don't kill them.
Nope.
But he say, wait, something's wrong. I need help. And he actually seeks help. And these niggas say, you know what you need? A ticket to San Diego.
Yes.
Here you go, my guy. There you go.
Yes.
God dang, these doctors is trash.
Yes.
Doctors trash, police trash, everybody trash.
So let me see. Okay, so yeah, pretty much when he was in Reno, Nevada, and he went to a mental facility. He stayed there. The doctor was like, can't do anything for you. And unfortunately, Nevada, they were like, we really don't want to deal with you anymore. So, like, we're going to give you a one-way ticket to San Diego, and you stop being our fucking problem. And he was like, okay.
And the nigga was like, I'm going back to Cali. That's dumb, bro.
That's why everybody, I'm not going to say it. I think everybody from California is a Looney Tune person.
I don't know. Have you been to Vegas?
Well, all the people from Cali are coming here, so what do you expect?
Yeah, that is true.
Yes.
But it ain't just Cali people. You got dirt balls from Utah. You got dirt balls from Arizona. You got your Texans.
All right, now let's get into the serial murders. So we said his first one of the known ones was Essie Louise Buck. He picked her up at San Diego Tavern on May 7th of 1971. He strangled her to death and drove around with her body in the trunk. Victim number 2 was an unnamed female. That was 2 weeks after Essie. He killed and buried her in a wooded area. The reason for murdering her was apparently both women confided in him about their infidelity towards their husbands, which reminded him of his adulterous mother. Okay. Victim number 3 is another.
So them hoes said, fuck somebody else. Hey, Carol. I gotta tell you something.
Right, and they randomly met him at a bar and just told him all this stuff.
I cheated on Freddie.
Yeah.
And he said, you bitch. And then he killed the bitch.
Yeah.
Hit her right in the neck.
I don't know it was what tool. They don't even say how he killed him. Really? That's what he did? Probably.
Carved the bitch up.
With his weenus out. So, victim number 3 was another unidentified woman. Her murder occurred between 1973 and 1979. The matter of death was cannibalism.
Wait a minute. How did she die from cannibalism?
It just says the matter of death. I gotta find this one. Hold on. So pretty much what happened was he had been on a bender drinking for 6 days straight. So he doesn't actually know how he ended up where he was at, but he was in Oklahoma City, and he woke up and he found himself to the remains of a woman deceased in his bathtub and slices of her butt in the skillet on the stove. That was the cannibalism.
Okay, so that's why we don't really know her cause of death. We just know cannibalism killed her. This nigga over there frying butt cheeks, man.
Frying butt cheeks. He dismembered her in the bathtub.
A lot like Jeffrey Dahmer, because remember he had that blackout with that dude in the motel, in the hotel. He beat the shit out of him and woke up, was like, oh shit, I did that.
Yeah.
Like the same thing.
When Jeffrey Dahmer was like in the 80s though, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Jeffrey Dahmer got some notes from Carol.
His crimes was like the late 80s through the mid 90s.
Yeah, and these were in the 70s, so it was not like Dahmer wasn't alive when this stuff was coming out. So his 4th victim was a woman named Diana Faye Younglove Parshall.
What?
Pashal. Diana Faye Younglove Pashal.
Fucking name she got. God dang. She must have been pretty or something. She got that many names.
She actually ended up being his wife in July of 1973. She was a barmaid with an alcohol problem. He ended up murdering her in September of 1979. He strangled during a drunken argument. Police initially ruled her death as an accident.
So he got away with that smooth.
Yeah, a noisy neighbor called police 8 days after the murder. Diana's body was found stuffed in a closet, wrapped in a blanket. Police...
Wait, then how the fuck you gonna call that an accident?
They thought maybe she got drunk, rolled herself up in a blanket and died. Of course, that's how she died.
Oh yeah, she just stuffed herself in
And
the closet.
went in the closet and died in the closet.
I mean, just like you do every day.
Yeah, you know, people get drunk, they roll up in a carpet, first you have to go to the closet, roll yourself up in it, and then die.
Yeah, that sounds like everything I do after I get drunk.
Yeah, every weekend, once a weekend, just roll myself up in a blanket and go waddle myself in the closet and die real quick. But the police decided Diana's death was a result of her heavy drinking. So Carol was released without charge after being questioned.
That's some bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Especially, you know what though? Maybe he didn't have life insurance on her, so they was just like, you know what?
Maybe these people didn't. Did they have life insurance back then?
Apparently his broke ass didn't, because that would have been easy to say, all right, bro, you did it for the money. You're going up the river.
So also was his wife. The neighbor got nosy because Carol was out there being drunk and he was trying to dig a grave for her. So she was already dead in the closet and he was like, I gotta get rid of this bitch. And he was drunk and he was under his neighbor's house trying to dig a grave. And the neighbor was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Why would you be under the neighbor's house?
He's drunk. He doesn't know what he's doing.
That's the stupidest shit ever.
Hey, he got out of the house and was like, that's a good spot.
So wait, is the neighbor like the property owner? Is it, the neighbor the landlord or something?
No, it was a nosy neighbor, and he noticed like, they're arguing a lot over there. And then a couple days later, he's like, why is this fool underneath my house digging a hole? And then he's like, why haven't I seen Diana? I'm calling the cops.
Man, so maybe dude, like Carol, was he trying to fucking frame him?
The neighbor?
Yeah.
I don't even think he thought that far through. He was just drunk.
That's some stupid ass shit. How you gonna bury somebody in somebody else's yard?
But when you're drunk, are you really, like, think about being blackout, belligerent drunk. Are you really like, oh, this is my neighbor's house, I'm gonna dig a hole there? No, you're like, I gotta get rid of this bitch.
You dig a hole in your yard.
Well, maybe he thought, maybe they had like a shared property line or something. I don't know.
Bro's a dummy.
So that's his fourth victim. His wife, his own wife. So victim number 5, her name is Marie Cushman. So Marie was killed in Las Vegas in a Las Vegas hotel room. Her murder led to Cole's actual arrest.
So we back in Vegas now. He said, "Fuck Cali."
Yeah, Marie met Cole at a bar in Vegas in 1979. That same night they hooked up. Then Carol strangled her to death in a motel.
God dang, bro, the coochie was that bad, bro?
No, it was another person who talked about her infidelities, and he was like, "Bitch, you gotta go."
Oh, you cheating on your nigga out here?
Yep. Fuck him. Fuck him. So there were he didn't immediately get arrested for her. He traveled to Texas and he strangled 3 other women, and those ones aren't named, but that's kind of where he got caught, because they were already looking for him for her. And
wait, so he caught the body in Vegas and this nigga went to Texas?
Yeah,
caught more bodies?
back where his brother was, and strangled 3 more women immediately. Like, I gotta get as many bodies underneath me as I can.
But I thought he got caught in Vegas.
No, he didn't get caught in Vegas. The Vegas one led to his arrest.
Oh, that put him on the trail.
Yes, that put him hot on Carol's trail. So in total, Cole claimed responsibility for at least 16 murders, though some experts believe their number could be as high as 35. Many of his victims were never identified, drifters and sex workers who fell prey to his violent urges. Okay, so some of the other murders that he committed. There was Kathleen Blum. She was strangled and sexually assaulted. He sexually assaulted her corpse. There was Bonnie O'Neill.
Oh, wait, he hit her with the necrophilia. He had Dirty Dick Daniel?
Dirty Dick Daniels.
Nigga, you ain't sticking that shitty ass dick up in Erica, nigga.
Unless you did.
There was Bonnie O'Neill. She was in San Diego. She was strangled and he had sex with her corpse. There was Marie Cushman, that was Las Vegas, 1979, strangled and had sex with her corpse.
You like the cold coochie. God dang, bro.
Yeah. In
Told you, remember I said he don't like his fish wet and squirming.
Well,
he don't.
Who says that it was cold? It could have been, they could have had sex with it right after it stopped breathing. It was still warm.
That's fucked up.
Well, okay, so in 1980, he was in Dallas. There was Dorothy King on November 11th, strangulation. He did not have sex with her corpse. Wanda Faye Roberts, November 12th, strangulation. After murdering Roberts, he returned to King's home and then had sex with her corpse. Damn!
God dang, bro. Wait. Hold on. Rewind. So he strangled a bitch.
Dorothy.
Left.
The next day.
Strangled another bitch.
Yep.
And then went back to the other dead bitch and fucked her body.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know.
Told you like it cold.
Yeah, that I can't even argue with you on that one.
You like it cold and stanky. Oh my God.
I can't even argue.
Nigga's name Carol.
So then there was Sally Thompson. Carol was apprehended while attacking her in her apartment. She was already dead at the time of apprehension. Authorities caught him having he was about to have sex with her corpse. About to. And
he was waiting for it to cool down.
Yeah. But it was like her kids came home or something like that. And they were like, who the fuck are you? And he was like, I'm her boyfriend. And they like ran out of there, called the cops. And he was like, oh, I gotta get this one off. Cops get here.
What?
Yeah, that's kind of how it happened.
And wait, and that's how you got caught?
Yeah, because he was still there. And he was like, he had his pants on. And they were like, what are you doing here? And he was like, we were about to get busy. What are you talking about? They were like, bro, she's dead.
She's dead, bro.
He was like, oh, what? When did that happen?
I hardly noticed.
I didn't even, what's it?
No, he was like, they were like, he's dead. She's dead. He's like, so? And?
Right. She consented before, so it's consensual.
Just give me 3.5 minutes, bro.
I wonder if that's what he really thought in his head. Like, it's consensual because, like, she consented when we left the bar.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, that's how that works. So Carol was initially released for Thompson's murder. So Thompson was the one that he was apprehended for. And then he was rearrested, and then that's when he confessed, when he was rearrested later. But he was initially arrested for it, but he was like, no, she wasn't dead.
Why he didn't leave? He could have got away, man. The nigga should have went to Canada.
I don't know. Because at some point you should have left the United States a long time ago.
I don't, you know, these dudes get tired of killing at some point, though. They want to get caught.
So, hold on. So, the Bonnie O'Neill chick that was in San Diego, it says she was actually, it was at work. He worked at like a corner store or something like that, and he strangled her and dumped her nude body in the alleyway adjacent to the store he worked at. So that one, he had to just get that one off.
God dang.
Like he just couldn't resist it.
By his job?
Yeah, across the street, it's behind the store.
That's dumb as hell.
He had to get it off.
And they couldn't catch him.
She must have told him that she was cheating.
Stupid fucking. Never mind.
Don't call him bad words.
Nice ladies cheat.
Nice lady.
Bullshit. Never mind.
Hold on, let me. So let's get into the psychology of it. So Carol Cole was driven by a complex blend of psychological disorders, diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder and showing traits of psychopathy and narcissism. He had no remorse for his actions. He viewed himself as a moral enforcer, someone ridding the world of women he deemed wicked. His killings were fueled by deep-seated hatred towards women, especially those who reminded him of his mother.
He-man woman hater again.
Yeah, the act of strangulation wasn't just a way to kill, it was a method of control and dominance. It gave him a sense of power he had never felt as a child. His inability to empathize with his victims and his disturbing tendency to rationalize his actions showed a complete lack of guilt. Even when confronted with his crimes, Cole never truly accepted responsibility, instead blaming his victims or fate for pushing him to kill.
Bro, who made his punk ass the infidelity vigilante? Like, get the fuck out of here.
His mama.
Nigga out here running around with underwear on his head like he
Captain
Batman.
Underpants.
Captain Underpants killing hoes for cheating and shit.
So let's get to the capture, confession, and execution. Because yes, he was executed.
God dang.
So Cole's downfall came after the murder of Marie Cushman in 1980. When arrested, he didn't fight. He confessed freely, recounting each murder with chilling detail. Detectives were stunned by his calm demeanor and the way he described his victims as drunken sluts who needed to die. And
God dang, bro. What was you doing though?
he was the enforcer. He was the vigilante. He was righting the wrongs.
But he's the drunken murderer that needed to die. But no, the bitches that got hot coochie and just out there drunk cheating got to die.
Yeah, you remind him of Vesta. Vesta had to be a cold bitch.
I just don't understand why bro never went and got his mama. Hated her that much. Why you never took her out?
Can you really kill your mom?
Like, bro, you might as well just do that if you gonna kill everybody else. Like, god dang.
Right, but he still would have wanted to kill everybody else though, because he still would have reminded him of his mom.
And I never understand, like, even if it's a prostitute and you paying for it, I never understand the psychology of dudes that want to kill
The
women
prostitute.
that's willing to sleep with them and give them some coochie.
But you have to pay for it.
It don't matter.
Those ones feel like they shouldn't have to pay for it. It should be a God-given right. I should be able to just take it.
But well, you know, some of them look down on the prostitutes. They look at them as less than human. Are they mad at them? Or they, you know, like this dude, they got mother issues and all kind of weird shit. But the point is,
like the incels.
she's going to give you some coochie.
But you gotta pay for it.
Pay your little $30, $40, $50, bust your nut, and go on about your life. What are you mad for?
Whore. I'm not calling them that. It's a job. It's a living. You got to do what you got to do to pay the bills. Some people don't see it that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
I know for a time there, I was a little sugar baby. You know what I'm saying? If you want to pay a bill,
All right.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. So, where was I at? In 1984, Carol Cole was sentenced to death for multiple murders. He spent his final days on death row unrepentant, converting to Catholicism. Catholicism? It's Catholicism.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
That's, if you're slow, that says Catholicism.
Pretty much.
Okay. But never expressing remorse. On December 6, 1985, he was executed by lethal injection at the Nevada State Prison. His final meal was jumbo fried shrimp, French fries, salad with French dressing, and Boston clam chowder. In his final statement, he thanked the judge, almost as if relieved to be done with it all. His brain was later studied for abnormalities, an attempt to understand what could twist a human being set into such a monster. They literally
what could twist a
his brain
human
to
being
science.
to fucking say, for their last meal, I want some clam chowder. I need some chowder. Give me a bowl of chowder.
Chowder.
You need some chowder? No, my nigga, for your last meal.
Your last meal, you get whatever you want.
And this nigga said chowder, bro. I want a bowl of Boston clam chowder.
I've never had it. I don't really
It's
want to
not
do it.
bad, but it's not a last meal.
Hey, the jumbo fried shrimp. I'm on board.
I kind of get the shrimp. You know, people go all out with the seafood. I need a lobster. I need a
You
steak.
said I need them jumbos, though. Don't give me them little
But
bitch
some
ass
chowder.
shrimps.
They was like, bro, hurry up and kill this nigga,
Maybe,
bro.
look.
Put the motherfucking needle in his pee hole. Put the needle in his pee hole. It's over with. I'm tired
Maybe
of this
he
motherfucker.
just likes seafood.
I mean,
Look what he did. He likes, a little smell of seafood. And you never know.
sick fuck. They said his mama was doing stuff to him. I don't know. Maybe she made him a bowl of chowder.
Maybe she made him some clam chowder.
He had to eat her clam.
They'll
Pause. Like pause.
like pause.
Come on, bro.
Pause. Okay, so more on because like I said, he was in Texas when he got
What, executed?
arrested. So in Texas on April 19th, 1981, Carroll was convicted of the 3 murders that he committed. Remember I said he came in there and strangled 3 bitches?
Oh, yeah. Real quick, yeah.
He came in there like a freaking bad habit. Like, 3 down. Next one. Nope, you're caught. So he was convicted of the 3 murders and sentenced to life at the Huntsville prison. His mother died in 1984, and Carroll was,
Well, at least she didn't have to see her baby die.
I guess.
But fuck that bitch.
Everything he did was because of you.
That's why I said fuck that bitch.
Okay, so Carroll's attitude changed. He then agreed to face charges in Nevada for the murder in 1977 and 1979, even though he could possibly be facing the death penalty. So after his mom died, he was like, yeah, fuck it.
And he was like, well, fuck it, man. Hurry up and do this shit.
Yeah, he was over there. And
Put the needle right in my pee hole.
He said, and he was like, let's just get this all out of here. So in February of 1984, Carroll was extradited to Nevada and was tried and convicted and sentenced to death in Nevada. During the sentencing phase, Carroll said, thanks, Judge. While awaiting his execution, he converted to Catholicism. That's my new favorite word.
Cadillacism.
Catholicism. On the day of his execution, anti-death campaigners like the American Civil Liberties Union, the United Methodist Church of Reno, and fellow death row inmates tried to have his sentence commuted, but Cole protested. He was like, man, let me go. Like we said, he the prior night, so you're over here about this Boston clam chowder. The night before, he requested KFC.
Did they give it to him?
No.
Well, yeah, you don't deserve it. But
No, the guards couldn't give him anything with bones, so he got chicky nuggies.
the nigga got some chicky nuggies.
That's literally what it says in my note. Chicky nuggies. He got some chicky nuggies. And on December 10th, Carroll was executed by lethal injection at 2:10 a.m. His brain was removed hours later and studied for abnormalities by the University of Nevada, Reno Medical School.
You did not need to study his brain. His name was Carroll. His mom touched his pee-pee. Case closed.
What?
His mom did stuff to him, man.
Well, what his mom did was his mom beat him to scare him into not telling her father about his affairs. So she would bring sailors over and all kinds of shit and would beat him and be like,
his mom did stuff to him too, man.
And he whipped him for minor things. And like you said, he was bullied in school for having a girl's name. Most of the time he would tell people that his name was Eddie. He'd be like, call me Eddie.
See, I don't think he was just mad because his mama was loose and drunk. I think she did something to that boy. But whatever.
She always did it. Well, I don't know. But also part of his stuff when he was younger is like he didn't get to go to school when he was supposed to because his mom just didn't feel like taking him to school.
She too busy getting the train riding on her. She don't give a fuck who gonna take that dude to school.
And hosting tea parties and making him dress up in girls' dresses.
Making bro be a girl and shit.
And making
like, come on,
him
man.
serve her tea in a dress. That's what it did. So Carroll Cole's story is a grim reminder of how deep trauma and unchecked mental illness can create a killer. His hatred towards women, born from his mother's cruelty, grew into a relentless drive to murder. The system failed to intervene early on despite countless warning signs. And despite him freaking checking himself in.
Like, bro, they sent his ass to Cali.
No, literally one time he flagged down the cops. He like they said self-admitted
After he caught a body?
Yeah.
And they didn't take him in?
No, they did. But he flagged down the cops and was like, I'm crazy. Please take me in. And they were like, okay, if you want to go. And then they took him in and then they were like, yeah, you're a faker.
They didn't believe him?
No, remember they said he was a malingerer. You're a faker. Get
that
out of here.
malingering.
Malingering.
That's what they think I'm at work. They think I'm a malingerer.
You're a faker. You're a phony. A big fat phony. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. It just popped. Intrusive thoughts. Okay, so now
Bitch
we're
ain't
on
never
to the...
caught me in a lie though. Never mind.
Don't start. All right, so we're gonna go on to the segment of my 2 cents. So you look like you got a little 2 cents to add in here.
All right, man. We gonna start with the mama. Mama. She wasn't shit. I think mama, like, you named him Carl. You dressed him as a girl. You obviously wanted a girl. And if you live in a fast, loose lifestyle like that, making do tea parties and stuff like that.
She had a daughter. He had an older brother and a younger sister. Sorry.
But who's the oldest?
The older brother.
Okay. And he has a younger sister.
Yeah. So she still dressed him up as a girl, even though she had
He
a
was
little girl.
supposed to be the girl.
Probably.
That's what I'm saying. And you gotta think. If she's making them dance around and do all that stuff in front of people, she probably would let people do stuff to him.
Probably.
That's why he hated women. And it's just sad that in all these stories, the cops ain't shit. And then on top of everything, you got this man actually snitching on himself, reaching out for help.
Hold on. In this situation, was the cops okay? There were a couple situations where the cops wasn't shit. You found your wife in a closet, rolled up in a blanket. They did arrest him. They arrested him, but they let him go.
They didn't want to fucking solve the crime. They didn't give a fuck.
They solved it. He was a heavy drinker, and that's what did it.
Yeah, that's
Perry
stupid.
Mason.
So like I
Private
said,
Eye.
the cops wasn't shit. And then you got doctors sending them back to Cali. Like, bro, what are y'all doing?
Nevada didn't want to deal with him no more.
But then he came back to Nevada and caught a body anyway.
Yeah.
So,
But he wasn't in the mental facilities anymore. The doctors didn't have to deal with him.
well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody passes the buck to these people in society.
Yeah.
And everybody has to suffer. All them ladies didn't have to die. You know what I mean? Even though they was amoral and they didn't do the right thing,
Look,
they didn't deserve to die for that.
Look. Does cheating really make you amoral? Everybody cheats. You better not cheat. I better not cheat. But we've cheated.
You gonna try to kill me?
I've no comment.
Yeah, hold. Somebody save this for evidence.
I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
But yeah, it's just, I don't understand why nobody can actually help anybody.
Yeah, because y'all should have
And
just
we all
kept
gotta
him.
suffer. And, you know,
Like, if you got somebody walking in here saying, I have fantasies of strangling women, yeah, you're probably not going to get rid of those fantasies.
I mean, like, you ever been to SeaWorld? Like,
What?
that's the response.
That's really like it was.
Doc, I can't shake it, man. I just have this unshakable urge. I need to strangle women. And the doc's just sitting there, tapping his pen, puts it in his mouth.
Faker.
You ever been to SeaWorld? You know what I'm saying?
Let's
And then the
move on.
cops is like, yeah, this nigga faking. He telling them, I just killed 3 bitches, man. I strangled them all. They in the desert. Go look. Faker, get him out of here. So, bro, what can you say when this is the result of that? So my 2 cents is, you know what? Dude should have killed his mama. That would have ended everything. Mama! Exactly.
I was about to yell it out. I'm sorry.
If he got her and took her out for whatever the hell she did to him.
Maybe because they said after she died, he was like, I'm kind of done.
That's when he said,
The
all
evil
right,
has passed.
take me out. You know what I'm saying? She died. He was like, Mama! And then he was like, let me go.
Right. I've done my job. The devil has been slain.
So if that was the case, all you had to do was take her out. You could have saved everybody else's life. You didn't have to do all that other bullshit. Being a vigilante for the Punani.
My 2 cents. I would have gone to therapy.
Well, he tried. Gave him a one-way ticket to Cali.
Well, you should have kept going to therapy. Like, hopping states doesn't make it better.
Listen, I've been in a situation where I tried to go to the doctor for something and they didn't do shit. So it was like, why keep going?
Yeah, men kind of don't like going to the doctor.
You know what I mean? So
Y'all really don't. I don't understand. Women go to the doctors for every freaking thing. My toe hurt.
and you gotta think, this dude get turned away. The police think he lying. The doctors is sending him to go see
The
Shamu.
police didn't think he was lying. The police believed him.
They called him a malingerer.
No, the doctors called him a malingerer.
Same difference. They all stupid.
Well, like I said, I'm not trying to justify anybody here, but
And like I said before, I don't understand these weird ass dudes that get mad at females that want to get coochie. That's dumb.
that is kind of dumb. You could have just took the coochie and gone about your life.
You know what I'm saying?
No point in murdering them, because now you've kind of put yourself in a little bit of a pickle.
Made me so mad. Remind me of Vesta. Wherever the fuck her name was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Vesta.
it. That's my 2 cents.
So my 2 cents, like, we were on it. I would have went to therapy. I would have, if I was a doctor, I would have like kept him until he said he didn't have thoughts of murdering people.
I mean, that's kind of what you do. You give them treatment.
You don't just like keep him for a little while and be like, he's cured. And they didn't even say he's cured. They said, we don't want to deal with you anymore. Here's a one-way ticket on a bus to San Diego. I swear.
Later, Gator. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Like, there were so many times when somebody could have intervened. Like, when he was in the military and he got dishonorably discharged for shooting at people's cars. Why didn't y'all keep him then? He was already showing he was going to be a problem.
I mean, dang, like, that's not a sign?
Right, that's a huge sign, especially you're doing it when you're in the military. Like, that's when you're under the most scrutiny, under the most judgment, and you said, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot at people's cars.
Should've never taught that boy how to kill.
Yeah, and see, like, you made the little stabby noises earlier. Wasn't no stabby, it was just all hands.
God dang, bro was brutal.
I bet you his hands hurt, bro. You probably had to ice them.
Well, I don't know, bro. Maybe he had Jordan hands.
What does that mean?
Jordan had big ass hands.
I think it was still hurt after strangling. You gotta put a lot of...
Yeah, because you gotta strangle a motherfucker for like 5-6 minutes and shit.
Right, that takes a long time, bro. I'll tell you one thing. If I ever become a murderer,
And then if
strangulation ain't gonna be the way I do it.
If you strangling like a thick neck bitch like that bitch Ivory,
Oh, God.
bro, you gonna need Jordan hands.
Don't talk about my babe, okay?
You gonna need
Her neck is not that thick.
Dragon Ball Z
It's not
Daima.
that thick.
You gonna need Dragon Ball Daima Super Saiyan 5 fat hands.
Really?
For real. Her neck thick.
It's not that thick.
It's thick.
Thick. Sorry. So with that, we are done. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned a little bit today. What do you got to say?
Fuck them.
Really?
Yeah, that's it, man. Fuck them. I like it.
All right, you guys stay tuned for episode number 3. Wait, no, this was 3. Dang it! Episode number 4. You guys enjoy your day.